We have an update on Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is back in the news after recently being accused of abuse by two more of his ex-girlfriends. According to the New York Times, Majors' ex-fiancée, Emma Duncan, alleges that he was emotionally abusive during their relationship and also choked, bruised, and threw her around. And Maura Hooper, who dated Majors during their college years, alleges she was emotionally abused by the actor, who also threatened to kill himself after she found out he was having an affair. What are your thoughts on these new allegations? Let's go to you first, Al.
Hey, listen, we talked about this here on the show. The Manhattan District Attorney back in April said that it was multiple women, that it was several women, that he had more than 9 calls and interviews in his office. But you know what, Claudia, you know what I did? So I Googled these young ladies, and then they also said classmates on Facebook and ex-girlfriends have come forward. And guess what? All of them have one thing in common. And what do you think that is?
They're white.
None of them are Black women. And I think that there could lie where the problem is. And where there's smoke, there might possibly be a fire in this case. And I just feel like the way that his attorney is handling this is completely detrimental to his career. Her issuing a statement saying that that's how he was back then, that's not how he is now, is basically admitting that he was aggressive and could possibly have done some type of behavior that was abusive. I thought that was the worst statement that an attorney could have on behalf of a Black male.
What do you mean you said that might be the problem? Like they were all white. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like he has this affinity for a certain type of woman. And, well, let me just say this. He has an affinity for a certain type of woman. In each one of those cases, one thing that has becoming clear is that they all say that he choked them and that he was physically aggressive with them and that he threw them. So I'm just saying, I don't know that there would be multiple women of color who would allow a man to choke them on a regular basis like this.
Okay. All right, Armand, what are your thoughts?
Wait, Al, wait.
Go ahead, Armand. Y'all have a little conversation.
You don't know if there was that was a wild statement, Al. You don't know if he'll allow if they would like what
I'm trying to say. It didn't come out right. This is a deal. Yeah. I don't know a guy. I don't know a Black male that is an abuser, right? Where he will have multiple in relationships with multiple women where they would allow it. How about that? I feel like, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4, but I feel like somewhere in there, they would have been like, listen, you're not going to freaking choke me out. That's just my opinion, though.
Well, I definitely believe that he's guilty on this. I mean, because they even have in reports that he admitted that, all the relationships at that time were toxic and, very emotionally draining and toxic, and he was a part of it. But one thing that was standing out to me is the fact that, he would always or seemingly mention that he would kill himself and, kill them or, rip the baby out of them. Like his heart got ripped out. Like I don't know, it was a lot of manipulation and verbal abuse. And I feel like there's physical abuse there. I don't really think it matters of whether they're white or Black. I just think that, he was abusing these women. I do believe it. And see, this is the difference between what we were talking about, Claudia, the other day and today. I feel like these stories are they're very detailed. Why we don't see all the proof and evidence. I feel like these stories with these women, they're all sounding the same. The language is the same. So it's hard for me to believe that all of these women are making this story up against this one man. You know what I'm saying? So they're all aligning with each other. So to me, when I see a story like this, I'm like, yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. This guy definitely did something. And then you have him admitting that, this was just a toxic situation that I was in. So this is the type of stuff that I like to see when a victim comes forward, like a detailed description of what happened. So then there's not a lot of gray room for iffiness and, obscurities and objections.
I will say this, and I hope y'all take this segment just seriously just for a second, because I know there's some laughter the other day, and it really actually made me feel away because I am a victim of sexual abuse. And it was just really not, I felt like it was just a weird space. And it's hard to talk about these things. But I know this is TGIF, but we got to have some kind of conversations where they are uncomfortable, but they're real. I will tell you this. A lot of people like to try to comfort victims if they don't have the details proper, if they are inaccurate, or if they leave some things out, or if they take a long time to come forward. When you are traumatized from a situation, sometimes as a mechanism for self-perseverance, your mind will make you'll forget some things. Your details will not be there. You won't have everything right. So I just want to say this. Yes, are there women? Yes. Are there women that lie about these things? Yes. Are there men that lie about being abusers? Yes. Should we just just write them off with one broad stroke? No. And I do want people to just be a little bit more open-minded. That's all I ask, just be a little bit open-minded. If someone's account of something isn't perfect for you, does not mean that it did not happen. And I like the fact that people are coming forward. And yes, we do need the ones that do have great memories and great detailed evidence about it to present them, because it helps the people who are a little blurry on things. I know a lot of times victims of sexual abuse and molestation, they block things out, and later on the memories resurface years later. And I think those people are to be believed too. But according to the way we are going in on comments now, it's like, oh, girl, why are you waiting so long? It must not have really happened. No, until you are in a position, I'm not sure what y'all's history is with sexual abuse, and I pray neither one of y'all had that. It will change your chemistry in your brain. It will change a normal person who is rational into someone who's not, because you don't know what it feels like to be held down, pinned down, and have something taken from you, or to be abused. So it's like very easy to sit from our chair and like judge. I'm happy these women are coming forward with details, but let's not count people out that don't have all those details, because it doesn't mean they're lying. Let's go to the chat real quick. Al, do you feel like reading any comments?
Oh, sure. Christina said many men have abused several of their women. R. Kelly, Russell Simmons, Diddy, Chris Brown. Mike said Jonathan should have been a boxer and not an actor. Sheila said Jonathan has a pattern. That's why CAA dropped him. And Jessica said he beating everything except these charges.
All right.
I just want to add to the sexual thing, because I think what you said is important. And I just want to say, if yesterday that you felt that way, I definitely didn't mean to make you feel that way in any way. So I want to apologize here live on the
I
air.
really did. And I know people are commenting on my energy. And I know this is like a no-no on television, but like I've been raped before, y'all.
Yeah.
And like I don't appreciate two men laughing when I'm talking about we should have laws in place. I was trying to say we should have laws in place that address women that lie and men that lie.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard to put these things out there and for it to be used as fodder or to have like a little boy moment. Like I don't like that, you guys. And I think it stops people from wanting to share their experiences. And someone out there could really be like needing to hear that. But thank you for apologizing, Amon. I'll let you finish your comment. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I understand. So that totally makes sense. But I think for me yesterday, it's important, and this is just from where I sit, it's important that, not to take away from that moment, but it's still important that we hold women to that same degree when they're being accused of sexual harassment. And also, it's important that when a man comes forward about being sexually harassed by another man, we take it just as serious. And I find that we don't have this same level of seriousness when a woman is in the seat of being an accuser or when a man is speaking out. Not taking away from a woman speaking out against a man, but I just feel like it's only meant to be taken down, very quiet, very serious when it's a woman versus a man. But when it's a man on man or a woman to man, it's like, oh, girl, that's not true. Or then it's okay. So I just think all across the board, all spectrums, we should have a level of seriousness with it all the way across the board. So I agree, but it needs to be across the board.
And I agree with you too. I agree. I had a man cry to me about being sexually abused, and I know that was the hardest thing he had to do because he probably didn't know if I would judge him or not. And I cried with him. And I think men do not get taken seriously when they talk, and that's why they never report it because, oh, now I'm gay, and then that's a negative thing. And you know what I mean? Like, I agree with you with that. And I actually do have smoke for women that lie about this because I'm a victim for real. Women or men that lie on this, the aggressor or the victim, hurt real victims, whether you're male or female. And that's period, point blank.